altering the balance of lawmaking powers refers to the way in which that division of power between the Commonwealth and the states' parliaments can be changed. These areas can be changed in three ways. One, through referendum, through referral of power, or through the High Court interpretation. This video will focus on the High Court interpretation. The Commonwealth Constitution created the High Court in order to resolve disputes that arose under the Constitution. All cases involving interpretation are heard by 7 justices of the High Court of Australia. And since Federation, the High Court has been able to influence that balance of power between the Commonwealth and the states through resolving disputes and interpretation. In other words, where it gives meaning to the words within the Constitution. In doing so, it is able to change that meaning. And it is able to significantly, or it has been able to significantly influence that division of lawmaking power between the states and the Commonwealth. It must be noted at this stage that the High Court cannot change the actual wording, it changes the meaning. Disputes involving the Constitution generally involve either the state or the Commonwealth parliaments passing legislation that is challenged in the High Court as being unconstitutional. In other words, that it's being called ultra vires or beyond its power. So either the Commonwealth has gone beyond its power or the state's parliament has legislated in areas that are beyond its powers and therefore deems the law invalid. By resolving that dispute, and remember that's the main role of the High Court in this case, is to resolve the dispute, it is able to increase or decrease the power of the state or the Commonwealth by interpreting in favour of either the Commonwealth or the states. This has occurred in 2 main areas. One, the use of the external affairs power, section 51 subsection 29, or the use of the financial power and the Commonwealth's financial relationship with the states, also known as the conditional grants power. High Court interpretation generally has revolved around one of 2 situations, where the Commonwealth has made a law which is a residual power of the states and the states have challenged, or alternatively the Commonwealth has claimed that the state parliament has made a law in an area which is an exclusive area of the Commonwealth. You must know at least 2 cases, and most importantly you must be able to describe the impact or the significance of those 2 cases on the division of power. This video will look at the following cases: the Tasmanian Dams case and the Roads case. Let's look at the first one, the Tasmanian Dams case. And I'll look at the facts, then the outcome, and then the impact or the significance of each of those cases. Firstly, the Tasmanian government wanted to dam the Franklin River for a hydroelectric plant. The Commonwealth used the external affairs power to prevent its construction. The Commonwealth signed an international treaty, and here's the critical part, on conservation. And it legislated then to implement its obligations domestically, thereby creating legislation that prevented the dam from going ahead. The Tasmanian government challenged in the High Court, claiming that it was an inappropriate use of the external affairs power. In other words, that it was ultra vires, beyond the power, unconstitutional, and should be declared invalid. Let's look at the outcome. The High Court found in favour of the Commonwealth and it prevented the construction of the dam. Basically, it said that yes, that is within the power of the External Affairs. This is the most important part, the impact or the significance. What was the impact of that decision on the balance of power? Or how did it alter that division of lawmaking power between the Commonwealth and states? Well, put simply, it changed the division of power in favour of the Commonwealth. Critical. It significantly increased its power to legislate. Immediate effect was to prevent the dam, and it gained power over environmental issues and conservation. The wider impact, however, was that the use of the External Affairs power enabled it to legislate in the residual powers if the Commonwealth was a party to an international treaty. So it could legislate internally or domestically to implement its obligations under the international treaty. This enabled it to gain significant power and enter into many residual powers. The second case that we'll look at is the Rhodes case in 1926. Once again, I'll look at the facts, the outcome and the impact. The facts. In this case, the Commonwealth used its financial power, also the conditional grants, to enter into road construction. Now the conditional grant gave the power to the Commonwealth, or enables the Commonwealth to give money to the states on any terms it sees fit. In this case, it wanted to build a national highway around Australia, and it gave money to the Victorian government on condition that it build nominated roads. The Victorian government, in this case, challenged, saying once again that this is an inappropriate use of Section 96 and the conditional grants. The outcome. The High Court found in favour of the Commonwealth, confirming that it was, in fact, appropriate use of Section 96, and that the Commonwealth could do that. Well, let's have a look at the impact of that decision. The immediate impact was that the Commonwealth gained power over road construction. The wider impact here was it has changed the division of power through the use of the conditional grants. It's confirmed the Commonwealth's ability to use these conditional grants, in other words, to give money on any condition it sees fit or any terms it sees fit, and consequently it has now been able to use this power to legislate, in other words to make laws, in any of the residual powers. Even if that grant or that conditional grant goes against the Victorian or the state government's policy at the time. The state parliament basically has no condition, no option other than to accept the grant should it wish the grant. So this has enabled the Commonwealth to get into vast areas of the residual powers, including health, and environment, and also, of course, education and road construction. This has significantly altered the balance of power in favour of the Commonwealth. So you can see from these two cases, the High Court has been significant in altering the division of power, legislative powers, in favour of the Commonwealth.